Hey, so a very comprehensive and historically accurate piece was done by GBH, which is Boston's, which is out of Massachusetts. It's a Boston PBS channel, and anyways, they have a professor who has a bunch of masters and is associated with many of the elite colleges. Primary being Harvard. Was at at this old church doing a seminar, and then question and answers. So the title of it is Whitemanism, and Missouri's and the compromise of Missouri in the Dred Scott decision. So you have to pay really close attention, because he does have a tendency to not announce he'll spit out names, but he won't tell you right off the bat that they're black people. But he later on will cover and give you more specific details on the names that he spitballs out. But this goes into the historical objective realities that white supremacy is ingrained in the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, and the Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court and other federal and Supreme Courts around the country. So, for those of you who see this video, I want you to check this out, because this is this tells you the objective realities of what has taken place and what continues to take place. Because he not only talks about the historical context, but what has happened up to 2017. So something I never knew about, and that's because the history books really don't cover it in our schools when we're going through our pre-K schooling days, and also because the media, the supposed news media, doesn't cover it. And that's a common thing with the supposed news media, is that they don't cover these sort of things. PBS very occasionally covers it, and so on and so forth, but really it's something that should be continuously covered, because race is a equality, economic, and justice issue. It's politics. It's life, and it doesn't affect just minorities. It affects the whole collective of the country. And so there was a lot of information that was packed in there, and it should be looked at, and it should be shared. Unfortunately, I don't have a big enough network of people who have woken up, who can understand this sort of thing, and it would be even interested in watching it. So do me a favor, check it out. It's WGBH in Boston. You can find it on YouTube, and you can watch it. Again, the title is Whitemanism and the compromise of Missouri in the Dred Scott case. So check it out. And Dred Scott was a black slave, and that was a decision that the U.S. Supreme Court basically gave the country the ability to have white supremacy ingrained in it. So, and that was due to the Chief Justice at the time. So I implore you to watch it, and watch it as many times as you need to get a full picture of what that video and what that professor is talking about, because it is reality, and we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to eviscerate ourselves and come to the realization that we've got to stop lying to ourselves. We've got to stop ignoring, because it does affect us. It affects us in every possible way. And it's not just for blacks. It's because one thing that he continuously talks about is that it was not just applied to blacks, but Mulattoes. And Mulattoes would be anybody who was of mixed blood, who has a lighter skin tone, but still is not white. So that, and that applies to people like me, Asians. We're not, and the indigenous of the Americas, and so it is white supremacy baked into our legal system, and that's a danger. And pay close attention to what this professor talks about, because one of the focuses is on Missouri and how Missouri was a standard bearer for white supremacy, and he will mention some numbers like 150,000 versus 2,000. So there's 150,000 white people in Missouri at the time, and Missouri had basically written a state constitution that basically said that white supremacy is the law here, and the people in power are basically equating 2,000 black slaves and a smaller number of white people who had the moral fortitude and critical thinking to be allies. And this is a vast minority of numerical numbers, and yet they're trying to like they do always, they try to equate these small numbers are going to be able to somehow violently rise up and take out the white people in the state. And this is a decision that, and it was reiterated almost verbatim by the Chief Justice of the time of the United States Supreme Court. So understand this. Share it. Share it with everybody. And even though I'm not going to get the response that I want, I'm going to share this with everybody on my contact list. And unfortunately, I'm not going to get anywhere. And but it has to go out. Perhaps I'm wrong and I'm being too pessimistic, and people and those in my contact list will actually get outraged and actually choose actual morality, principles, and ethics, and be activated and motivated. But who knows? All right, thank you for your time.